find yourself in an emergency situation at any time. Whether it's a natural disaster, active shooter, other violent event, accidental injury, or other situation, you could be confronted with a life-threatening bleeding injury. And in a bleeding emergency, every second counts. Do you have the knowledge and skills to help? A fast response by trained bystanders can save a life. You've just witnessed a terrible accident. There is a lot of blood, and someone needs to take quick action to help save a life. Many people don't survive before emergency responders arrive. Would you know what to do? Blood loss is responsible for 35% of deaths before someone who's hurt gets to the hospital. Severe bleeding can lead to death in just 5 minutes, and when injuries are severe, this timeline may be even shorter. More than 30,000 lives could be saved each year with effective bleeding control. Those nearest to someone with life-threatening injuries are best positioned to provide immediate care. Here's how you can help save a life. First, remain calm and take action. Call 911 and Public Safety at 297-6200 to respond to the emergency. Be prepared to provide the dispatcher with your location, what happened, and the number of persons injured. Before providing care, check your surroundings. Is the scene safe? If you can make it safe, do so. If not, wait safely until medical personnel arrive. Locate the nearest bleeding control kit that contains bleeding control equipment and call for someone to get it. These will usually be located in classrooms, on the side of the instructor's desk, or in offices in a designated place. While these actions are being taken, identify the location of the bleeding. Next, apply compression directly over the wound and maintain pressure until the bleeding control kit or emergency medical services arrive. When the bleeding control kit arrives, immediately open it and locate the instruction card and tourniquet. The tourniquet will be used to constrict the blood flow to the area that is bleeding. Position the tourniquet 2 to 3 inches above the bleeding site, directly to the skin. Do not place it on a joint like a knee or elbow. If you cannot determine where the bleeding is coming from, the tourniquet can be effectively applied over clothing as high on the arm or leg as possible. Pull the strap on the tourniquet tightly and fasten it around the limb. The band should be tight enough that you cannot slide the tips of 3 of your fingers between the band and the limb. If you can, then retighten and resecure. Twist the attached orange rod until bleeding has stopped. Secure the rod between the clips and lock it in place. If bleeding is not controlled, consider additional tightening and reassess. Record time on the band strap. This is important for healthcare providers. Keep the extremity elevated and away from any potential hazards that may cause more injury. Stay with the victim and maintain pressure on the wound. As soon as emergency medical services arrive, follow their instructions and allow them ample space to perform their duties. It is important to remain on scene and provide them with any relevant information about the injury or emergency. So, let's recap. In the event of a severely bleeding wound, remember these basic steps. Call 911 and Public Safety. Compress the wound. Apply a tourniquet. Maintain compression until help arrives. Stop the bleeding. Be prepared. Make a difference.
Hi, I'm Judy Springer, an instructor in the Physical Education Department at MATC.
And I am Lieutenant Lorenzo Williams with Milwaukee Fire Department.
We're partnering to provide training at MATC on how to control life-threatening bleeding. Everyone should know how to identify life-threatening bleeding and know how to take the appropriate steps to control the bleeding until help arrives. Remember, it's important to ensure that the scene is safe before attempting to give any type of care. First, call 911 or MATC Public Safety. Quick access to advanced medical care can save a life. Second, identify if the bleeding is life-threatening. Examples include blood spurting from a wound, blood seeping through clothing, or loss of any or all of a limb. All can be life-threatening. Third, provide compression.
In your kit, you have a clean gauze that you can put compression against a wound that you may have and hold it there until the arrival of EMS. If the life-threatening bleed is to an arm or leg, your kit contains a tourniquet. Unfold the band and take the circle and place it on the limb over the bleeding. It's really important that it goes above the wound, at least 2 inches, and above the elbow or knee joint. You can place it over clothing. Just make sure there aren't any keys or a cell phone in the pocket that might impact the tension. Take the Velcro strap and tighten it down on the limb and snug it. Once the strap is snug, take the rod and attach it to the tourniquet and twist it as tight as you can. Then place it to the C-clip and hold the rod in place. You can take what is left of the strap and place it on top of the rod. The tourniquet will be tight on the injured person. Let them know that it will hurt, but it can only loosen it by medical providers. The kit contains what packaging can be used for life-threatening bleeding. It's also for the torso too. Also inside of our kit, you do have a pen. There's a time placed right here. You can put what time that you put it in. So if you know the time that you put on this tourniquet, place it on here.
And finally, you just want to maintain compression on the wound until help arrives. If the individual experiences signs of shock, such as cold, clammy skin, or dizziness, the 911 operator or MATC Public Safety can walk you through the appropriate steps to take.
Hi, I'm Aisha Barco, Director of the Public Safety Department. Thank you for watching the MATC Stop the Bleeding informational and instructional video. In collaboration with the MATC Physical Education Department and the Milwaukee Fire Department, the Stop the Bleed program was developed to demonstrate life-saving trauma techniques to save lives.
Keeping everyone safe is a shared responsibility. I'm Lieutenant Karina Taylor, also with the MATC Public Safety Department. By learning and being prepared to respond to life-threatening bleeding, you are helping during that critical golden hour until emergency personnel arrive.
Remember, the steps to stop the bleeding are: make sure the scene is safe. Call MATC Public Safety and 911. Compress the wound. Apply a tourniquet. Maintain compression and wait until help arrives. The actions you take can help to save a life.
Emergency responders are ready to respond. With immediate help from you, the survival rate of someone who's injured drastically increases. Thank you for partnering with your local emergency first responders. Together, we can save a life by stopping the bleed.